Hi, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Alex.
And today we're going to review the new...
I saved it with my foot.
You did.
Ouch.
How about you just keep it right there, next to the...
Did you see that though?
Yeah, that's fine.
My foot went
3,
boom.
2, 1.
Hang on.
Okay.
My phone's really hurting. Your phone's kind of hard.
Well, it's a life-proof case. It's not like you needed to do that.
I know, but it's just a reaction thing.
Hey guys, it's Jonathan from Stubmasters Reviews, and today we're here to review the new 2014 fantasy film, The Hobbit, The Battle of Five Armies. So when I walked into this movie, I had high expectations because The Unexpected Journey was really good, Desolation of Smaug was great, and I was really hoping that Battle of Five Armies would end the trilogy off at a satisfying conclusion. However, at the end of this movie, I was left wanting more. First, let's start with the pros. This film has a really grand sense of epic scale, like everything's going down and building towards this ultimate finale. Another great thing about this movie is that it has fantastic visuals in the set department, the costumes are really good, and just everything reeks of Middle-earth. However, the most surprising drawback to the visuals are the CG. The CG in this movie is really not that good. Some of the orc textures are really off, some of the green screen is really bad, and this is really disappointing coming from a director from Peter Jackson. This probably happened because the films were shot back-to-back or limited budget, but visuals weren't that great in the CG department. However, the action sequences are very well directed. Everything is clearly shot, you can see everything going on, and it builds, it does a really good job of making the action scenes feel really epic. There's also a great character arc involving Thorin, and you know how Bilbo Baggins in the previous two films had the ring and he was obsessed over it. Thorin has this thing with the Arkenstone, and it's slowly driving him insane as he's searching for it and tearing apart who he is as a person. I also want to give props to this movie because it kills off characters that you don't expect to die in really smooth, realistic ways that impacts the audience. My brother and I were looking at each other when it first happened. We were like, oh my gosh, he's dead. He's gone. And then another guy yelled, oh, that's BS. But that just shows you how effective it was. Another good thing about this movie is the fact that all the acting is all around really, really good, with standouts from Martin Freeman, who plays Bilbo Baggins, and Ian McGregor, who played Gandalf, and those two were awesome. But unfortunately, here's where I have to go into the cons of the movie. It feels occasionally cheesy, and it pulled me out of the movie. An example of this is when Legolas is fighting an orc, and there's debris falling in midair, and looks like a feather, and he's slowly jumping on the debris to get up like a cartoon, and physics doesn't work that way. And it really just stood out to me and detracted from the experience. Another thing I want to touch up on is that even though the battle sequences are very well directed, they're not really that well choreographed. For example, there's guys fighting, and literally all this guy has to do to kill this guy is just headbutt him, or there's a 7-foot monster and they slash him one time with the sword and he dies, and you're like, wow, these enemies are really expendable, and it doesn't make you fear for the protagonist's lives like in previous films where it felt like the odds were stacked against them and they were getting beaten and at any moment they could die. And I was disappointed that the tension wasn't here in this movie. Now, the last thing I want to go ahead and get onto is this film has really long battle sequences, which would be okay if they were varied, but they're not. It's pretty much the same bad choreography throughout the entire film, which made it feel really drawn out and boring. So overall, the Battle of Five Armies closed the Hobbit trilogy to a less than satisfying conclusion, but if you are a fan of the Lord of the Rings films or the previous two Hobbit films, there's still some enjoyment to be had, which is why I'm going to award The Hobbit, The Battle of Five Armies a 3.4 out of 5 stars. So, how'd you like our review? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Make sure to let us know in the comments below. Also, like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, and if you want to buy some really cool Stubmasters merchandise, per se, that's on cafepress.com/Stubmasters. Really cool stuff, mugs, shirts, you name it. I hope you enjoyed the review. Have an excellent day.